Good morning, everyone. It's Brother Paul here again. I had another crazy dream that I prayed to have, and here we go. So, some of you might not know this because I haven't actually put my testimony out yet, but I will. I used to be a former pro wrestler, and my career was cut short just before I made the big leagues, but I did have the privilege of doing a lot of traveling in that industry. I, in those days, was around a lot of guys that did a lot of bad practices, and like I said, I'll get into that on my testimony, but for today, I dreamt about my old wrestling days. I dreamt about my training days. The difference was it was my brain of today in my young body, so I was wise. And it's kind of funny because, when you read about David, he was a young guy. God used to say, he had a heart right after himself. So in this dream, everything that I did go through, all the influences, all the, what do you call it? All of the ways people tried to corrupt me, I relived it in this dream. And when I was young, I was just naive. I was in my early 20s, and they'd always ask me questions, and it's funny how at the time I wasn't paying attention, but in this dream I was absolutely aware of what they were saying. And I'll give you an example. A couple of times I had dreams where people were like, yeah, what would you do what would it take, And I used to say stuff like, oh, well, I'll practice more, I'll work out more, and they wouldn't say anything. But in my dream, I knew what they were asking me. Like, it's no secret, that entertainment is run by not the best group of people, and even at the big leagues level, it's corruption. It's, they want to see how far they could push you, whether it's in a direction of drugs, alcohol, sexual adventures, whatever. And when I was young, I was already dating my wife. I dated her. We got married. I never strayed on those road trips. But a lot of temptation. Trust me, there was a lot of temptation. And in this dream, I was identifying guys that went on to be huge stars. It's kind of like in my dream, people that went on to be the big stars that I knew before they were famous. It was me seeing them again when we started off. But this time, I had my spiritual eyes on, and I could see clearly how easily they were corrupted. Guys were carrying their drugs, or they had their steroids, or whatever, So I'm not exactly sure what God was showing me this for. Maybe it was, I was asking God last night, my evening prayers, my thanks, and I was asking for forgiveness like I do every other night, and or every night I should say. But this time he kind of showed me that I persevered, that I wasn't that bad of a guy. How many times he stepped in the way to give me the right decision. So basically this message is I'm talking directly to the young people that are watching this. When you hear a little voice in you, that is not your gut feeling. That is not your subconscious, the way this world teaches us. That is the Holy Spirit guiding you. That is the Holy Spirit giving you good advice. Let me tell you, I am so glad that I chose that. Yes, I got hurt. Yes, my career was over. Yes, I never got to be the millionaire that I so badly wanted as a kid. But you know what? I went on, I got married. I had beautiful children. I have an inheritance now from God and from my family. And all my friends that went on to do that professionally, I did it for 14 years professionally, but the ones that did it, when I say professionally, I mean the big leagues, they were millionaires and all that. They're all divorced. They're all cripples. They've ruined their bodies on an abuse of everything that was at their fingertips, if you know what I mean. And I'm glad I didn't go there. I'm glad I didn't make it. I'm glad I wasn't rich. Who knows how corrupt? God had a plan. I'm a living proof that God has a plan. So people, take one thing from this video. God has a plan for you. And you know what? He does love you. He loved me enough to steer me clear of that lifestyle. People, it's awesome. Listen to God talk to you. Listen, Jesus is talking to you all the time. Whether it's sounds, whether it's numbers, you see 3, 7, 12, Look and listen with your spiritual eyes. And I want to leave you guys with something that I saw on another video. This blew my mind. I want you to write the word Jesus down on a piece of paper. I want you to look at it. And then I want you to close your eyes. Count to 3. Close your eyes. Don't use your mouth and don't open your eyes. Say in your mind, Jesus. And I want you to visualize it. Go right now. 1, 2, 3. Close your eyes and then go. Now, if like me, you clearly saw the word Jesus and you heard yourself say it, now ask yourself, what eyes did you see that with? And what voice did you say Jesus' word with? Ah, that's a little interesting, right? What you just did, you weren't using your physical eyes and you weren't using your physical mouth. What you did is you spoke with the Spirit. Do you understand? That's how God speaks to us. Inner voice. Think of that. You have that in you. That is the power of your living spirit. If you believe in Jesus, that's how he talks to you. We're given a soul when we're born, and we take it with us. Our spirit, we take it with us after. So I hope that made you feel as good as it makes me feel. I love Jesus. I love you. He loves you. He loves us more than you ever can imagine. Do you have any idea how valuable you are to him? You are of his bloodline. He shared his blood, his blood and his body with us on the cross. Please share this. This is his message. We are his body and his blood. Have a great day. I love you guys all. Bye-bye.